Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about global warming
and carbon footprint.
So, Nora, what is global warming?
Well, it's a gradual increase in the overall temperature of the Earth's surface, oceans, and atmosphere. Here's a picture of global warming. So as you can see, the sun is shining on the Earth, warming up the Earth and its atmosphere. And some of the sun rays are going out of the atmosphere, but some are staying in. And the gases that are staying in the atmosphere that are warming up the Earth are called greenhouse gases. And because there are more and more of those getting trapped in the atmosphere, it's causing global warming. And some of the current effects of global warming is ice melting worldwide. There's a decline of penguins on Antarctica. There used to be 32,000 breeding pairs on Antarctica, but now there's only 11,000, and that's happened in the past 30 years. And also, sea levels are rising faster. Precipitation has increased, and air pollution has also increased. As you can see, smog in China and San Francisco a lot. Also, there's higher wildlife extinction rates, and plants and animals are migrating to higher altitudes, which is setting off the balance of the ecosystems.
What are some future effects of global warming?
Well, storms will become stronger, and we're already kind of seeing that in hurricanes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then the species that depend on one another may become out of sync, kind of like bees and flowers, because they depend on each other. Also, ecosystems will be changing, and there will be less fresh water available. Because of the ice melting, people can't get fresh water from that ice because it's turning into ocean water. Even though there's ways to get to make fresh water out of ocean water, still it's
very rare.
Yeah, it's lessening fresh water. And then also sea levels will continue to rise, and then also drought.
So, what is a carbon footprint?
Well, carbon footprint is the amount of carbon dioxide and other carbon compounds emitted due to the consumption of fossil fuels by a particular person or group, etc. So, carbon dioxide is emitted both naturally and through humans. It's emitted naturally by decomposition, ocean release, and respiration, and then it's emitted by humans through cement reproduction, deforestation, burning fossil fuels like coal, natural gas, and oil. And since the Industrial Revolution, human ways that carbon has been emitted have been growing. So 87% of produced carbon dioxide emissions come from burning fossil fuels, and then 42% of naturally produced carbon dioxide emissions come from ocean and atmosphere exchanges. Yeah.
Wow.
So, do you know any ways that we can reduce our carbon footprint?
Yes, I do. Okay, so one of the first ways we can reduce our global warming carbon footprint is to reduce fossil fuel use. The burning of fossil fuels increases the level of greenhouse gases that are in the atmosphere, and this can put holes in the ozone, which will be horrible. And another way, the second way that we can reduce global warming and carbon footprinting is planting trees. Plants use carbon dioxide, and then they release oxygen. And so basically they are getting rid of all the carbon that we are emitting and replacing it with oxygen, which humans need to breathe. And a third way that we can reduce global warming and carbon footprinting is to reduce, reuse, and recycle. Keeping trash out of the landfills reduces somebody's carbon footprinting. And so that's a good thing. And the fourth way is we can educate others about the environmental concern. Letting others know about the dangers of global warming will motivate them to help prevent it in the future.
Is there a difference between Alaska and Hawaii and their carbon footprints?
Yeah, there is. So in 2014, Alaska emitted 38,305,318 tons of carbon. And out of this, 34% of the carbon dioxide was emitted through transportation, 8% was emitted through electrical power, 7% was through commercial, 4% is from residential, so people, and then 47% is industrial. And in Alaska, drilling for oil is really popular, and so that's where all the industrial stuff comes from. And then in Hawaii, in 2014, Hawaii emitted 20,062,066 tons of carbon dioxide. And basically, 36% of that was emitted through electrical power, 2% was emitted through commercial, 7% through industrial, 1% through residential, and 55% through transportation. Because Hawaii is such a touristy place, lots of jet fuel contributes to the release of carbon dioxide.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What are the effects of global warming and carbon?
Okay, so the effects of global warming and carbon inside Alaska and Hawaii. So inside Alaska, global warming is causing a change in the ecosystems, like earlier breakup of the ice in the spring, and also lakes are shrinking because of the evaporation caused by the warmer temperatures, and these waters affect the wetlands and obviously the wetlands and the lakes that provide breeding lands for millions of waterfowl and shorebirds. And also in Alaska, climate change leads to more permafrost, which can cause damage to transportation and infrastructure. And then in Hawaii, coral reefs are threatened by higher temperatures and more acidic waters. And in Hawaii, the tourists love to go to the coral reefs, and that's one of the main attractions in Hawaii. And so that would be a problem if it was affected. And also another effect is the drinking water quality will drop due to the increased flooding, so the water will be contaminated, and because if they're by the ocean, they'll get salt water and stuff. And another effect is that the diets of the Pacific Islanders will be impacted due to the damaged habitat and the migratory patterns of the fish. And the fish are basically 25% of the Hawaiians' diet. And also, sea levels are rising due to tropical storms, which will not be good because they are islands. You do not want the sea level to rise when you're on an island.
So what about the average carbon footprints of humans and trees?
Okay, so the average carbon footprint of a human is 4 tons of CO2 per year, and that is worldwide. In America, the average carbon footprint of the average person is 20 tons of carbon dioxide, which is quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then for leaves, trees do not emit carbon; they take in carbon.
Okay.
So the average tree can absorb up to 48 pounds of CO2 per year, and they can produce about 260 pounds of oxygen per year. And this is just an average of all the trees together.
Yeah.
So what are your leaves for?
Well, we did an experiment in biology, and we got some samples of leaves, and so we were able to kind of see their carbon footprint.
No, they don't have a carbon footprint now.
Nope, we were able to see
They
how
absorb.
Yeah.
Like the common ivy. How much?
Yeah.
Was it? They absorb
50%
of carbon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in their that's
50% of what they absorb is carbon.
Yes, is carbon. Yeah. So that's
So, thanks for watching. Hope you learned a lot.
yeah.